Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. Happy Saturday to you and your family. We're going to take a look here at Ethereum, help understand, once again, best practice, big picture, and kind of just see what's going on. I mean, Ethereum's doing very, very well right now. And in most cases, not saying this is happening, but Ethereum's one of the first coins to take off as kind of signaling alt season. Again, just throwing it out there, totally not the case, but we can see Bitcoin dominance is coming down, and a lot of alts are getting some pretty nice love today, for lack of better terms. So Ethereum's taking a lot of that market capitalization, if you will. We'll take a look at that and much more. If you're new to the channel, just know I'm not a financial advisor. I really do love teaching people how to trade. I hope you can learn something here today, and if you do, fantastic. Let me know, comment below, and maybe feel free to message me direct if you have any questions or concerns. I do have a trading community as well as an academy and signal group that's available through CryptoCache.tech, link in the description below, whereas I just provide you with training on how to become a better trader. Signals that I send out for every single trade that I take, and we've been making a killing on it. And honestly, I wish I got into Ethereum. I was tempted to get into that yesterday, but I kind of held off, but that's just kind of how it is when you're a patient trader. Sometimes you miss some opportunities, but thankfully Bitcoin, Sandbox, and a handful of others, we've been able to take some nice profits on. All long positions for the moment, because Bitcoin looks like it wants to try to break that trend at 21,700. So we'll see that resistance level soon. If that happens, you can expect Ethereum to take off even further. But what's great about this here, we can kind of take a look, is you can see this trend line here where the price action hit once, twice, three times, and then explosion here today. So again, you keep testing a level over and over, it's going to likely break. So that's exactly what happened. The price came up, consolidated right at that effort now, and we're looking at 1282 is a likely strong support level. So if you're going to take a long position, that'd be an excellent place to try to get in if the price were to come back down, because there's a decent chance that'll be a support level now that it's broken through. Once again, today's candlestick hasn't closed yet, but on the same accord, I think there's a great chance that we should still see a closure over 1282. That would just make sense. All right, so kind of that's where we're at there. Looking at the RSI, of course, we broke through 50 on the RSI. This is something that we did not see from Bitcoin, or haven't seen yet. It's getting close. If we do see a break just like this here, we can expect, well, not only other altcoins to exceed, but also just Bitcoin to effectively continue to progress to 23, 24,000, possibly even 28,000 to fill that gap, that CME gap that we saw from a while ago. That being said, taking a look here at, of course, the RSI, we've already acknowledged that we're good there. We can see the MACD as well, also converging, essentially increasing on its way up. So again, mostly positive here. We just got to be careful in the sense that we have 4 days of continuation, and that is a difficult, I wouldn't say difficult thing, but usually things happens in threes, right? You've heard of 3 white soldiers, or, I would say perhaps even, the inverse as well. 3 black crows, I think it's called. And the bottom line is they're really large candlesticks that are usually happening 3 days in a row. While yesterday wasn't significantly huge, today is as well to make up that difference. So there is a decent chance we could see a red day tomorrow, just based on that natural progression of how that works. No guarantees, of course, but oftentimes you do see things happen in threes, right? So again, just something to throw out there. Those are mostly just patterns. They don't always have to happen, but they do sometimes. Let's take a look here at Ethereum. Here's kind of where we're at. First of all, on the 4 hour, we can see we just broke through 70 on the RSI. So that does lead me to believe that we should see a retracement, which we're already seeing here. We saw the wick all the way up to 1425. Now we're back down to 1330. So for lack of better terms, the price action is coming up, getting rejected at 70 on the RSI and coming back down. Okay, so that's generally where we're at here. That's a good thing, honestly. You want to stay under 70 on the RSI, at least on the 4 hour, because it'll help you kind of stay within that range. So ideally, Ethereum goes sideways for a little bit longer, because we can see it's definitely overextended to the upside. It really hasn't had a lot of room to breathe. We hit a 9 here. It went into, 5 or 6 4-hour candlesticks worth of overtime. That's 20, 24 hours. And then, of course, a slight retracement followed by an increase. So in truth, while we do have a 2 here, on TD sequential, it's almost like like a 9+ still, if that makes sense. We didn't have enough time to consolidate, and this extra increase, this added volume, while it's positive and helpful, it's not going to, I would say, last as far as this push to the upside. And all I mean by that is that not that Ethereum isn't going to continue higher. It definitely has all the qualities. It's just that I think in the short term, we should expect the price to retrace and kind of consolidate closer to 1282, the previous resistance level, before we see it leg up again. So hypothetically, if you were to take entry, this is what I like to do. I like to take entry at the current price, so just say 13.38. Then I have that's basically a 50% entry, and I have another entry target closer to the previous level. So instead of 12.82, I might do 12.85 or 12.90 to kind of get my average price down if I were to get filled. If not, I got some skin in the game. All right. Different practices, different strokes for different folks, but there's definitely ways you can maximize your benefit in the bearish market. You don't necessarily have to, I mean, bearish markets are like, it's all about survival, right? So if you can survive, you're going to be doing well. And that's essentially what we've been doing as a community. And it's really nice to be able to have everyone come together. Thank you so much for the wonderful feedback and support I've been getting too as well lately. And it's nice to be able to share in those wonderful trades with you. It's awesome stuff. But when it comes to everything we're seeing here on the 4 hour, we're overextended. That is just the bottom line. We're over 70 on the RSI. I would love to see that pull back a little bit further. So I would recommend not trying to get in right now. I don't think you missed the boat per se. There should be somewhat of a consolidation effort closer to 1282. It just kind of feels like it wants to do that. And I don't think that it would be terrible to consider waiting a little bit and be patient. But if you were to get in right now, make sure you have multiple entry targets. Let's take a look at the 1 hour and kind of wrap it up. We're taking a look here, of course, just quickly at the cloud. Standard stuff. Very, very comfortable here. Again, if you have a long position, keep it open. Lagging span is free and clear of any price action. Conversion line and baseline are intersecting, so that does tell us that momentous push is coming, I wouldn't say to an end, but when you see those things close together, it does imply you want to take some profits if you are in profit. So if you haven't already, it wouldn't be a terrible consideration to, take some a little bit of profit off the top, right? Me personally, I like 50, 60, 70% on my first target, and then I save the rest for later, let it ride. So again, whatever you want to do there is fine, but generally speaking here, Ethereum is showing all good signs and good qualities that it wants to just continue upwards. But again, I would not be surprised if we see the price come back down to get a little bounce off of that support level. That would make the most sense. That would feel more comfortable for me. So, usually what I like to do is I'll set like an alert at let's just do like 1300 and kind of go from there, right? Once I get alerted, if we come back down there, it might be a good place to, take a long position, but it's still a little bit on the higher side for me right now. Okay. Again, generally speaking, that's kind of what we're looking at. No guarantees it's going to come down, honestly, though. It does have a lot of momentum. It's just that this is a very strong push continuation. We take a look at TD Sequential 2. We're pretty much at an 8 right now for this push, right? So we're 8 hours into a potential 9-hour continuation. While it can still go higher, should it go higher? We're getting rejected off of 70 on the RSI on the 4 hour. I don't think that's relevant in the sense of this continuation, but it's also important to recognize, right? Again, we're just building a case, helping understand what could happen next. And there's no guarantees it could go up or down, but most of the signs here tell us we're overextended on the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frames. And those are things you might want to consider because an overextension on a shorter time frame leads to a correction on a larger time frame. That could lead us to our red day tomorrow as a potential fourth candlestick. So again, a lot of little schools of thought there, but generally speaking, mostly positive here from Ethereum. I am not telling you to short this position. I am saying to possibly wait for a pullback. That would probably be recommended. Again, me being patient, I miss out on opportunities. I totally get that. You could miss out too if you wait. So maybe don't. But on the same accord, it has every indication that it wants to come back down, but it's also telling us that the support level here at 1282, not only based on Fibonacci retracement, but previous resistances, should work as a strong support. That's essentially what we're going for. All right, so ultimately, I would say that Ethereum is looking pretty darn good, but I'm looking forward to a slight pullback closer to 1300 to add to our position, perhaps at a lower price point. So just don't be surprised that if we see a correction here. Again, Bitcoin could correct itself too a little bit. It's kind of naturally doing that anyways, and Ethereum would follow suit, even though it's about 3x of Bitcoin right now. Ethereum is doing very, very well. So again, don't be surprised if we see a slight pullback, but on the same accord, it may not even happen, if that makes any sense. All right, so hopefully you made some sense of what I described here. Hopefully this is clear and concise. If you would like to become a community member, once again, CryptoCache.tech. Feel free to join. Over 200 active members right now. We're all having an awesome experience and learning and growing together. Last but not least, too, thank you so much. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. I do appreciate your support and all the wonderful feedback I've received. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.